I'm Alex Kenney. I'm a freshman. I'm a music education major with a focus in voice, and I'm a speaker of 4 languages. I speak French, Russian, Latvian, and English. My mom is Latvian, so her family and her really wanted me to learn Latvian, and my dad is American, so he wanted me to learn English. And while we were in Kazakhstan, my nanny spoke Russian, so that's where I learned Russian, and then we eventually moved to Russia, which helped. I was baptized in Paris, and I go to Paris every now and then with my family, so I never learned how to speak French, but I thought it was something that would definitely help me in the future, and I've always looked at French as such a beautiful language, so I was just compelled to learn it. For myself, I think if I can carry on like a conversation without any worries or like a couple hiccups here and there, because that's bound to happen to everyone, but if you can carry on a conversation and understand what someone is saying and just even make jokes, understand like the insides and outs of the language, reading, writing, then I think you're fluent. And that's when I think I consider myself fluent too. French is the language I've mainly had some troubles with, because I know enough to maybe carry a conversation along, but sometimes it gets to a point where someone asks me something or I need to respond to it and I don't really know how to respond, or I don't know what they've asked. So I feel a little awkward stopping there. Or even in Russian at the moment, I just forget a couple words and it stops the conversation. It's a little sad, but it happens. Latvian is kind of, to me personally, it's like softer, more upbeat, gentler, kind of. Kad tu runā latviski, tu izskaties, kā tu esi kaut kāds kā pilsētnieks, un parasti esi mazāks puika. So it's that kind of feel. It's just like upper, higher range kind of thing. Russian is Russian. It's very masculine, kind of firm, cold. Ну да, это просто по-русски надо сказать. И я не знаю, просто надо говорить по-русски, и тогда чить, и да. Many people think Latvian and Russian are very similar, when in fact they're very different. They could not be more different. The alphabet in Latvian is the same as the American alphabet almost. And most people think that it's like the Russian alphabet. And French is a Romance language, so it's another kind of like smooth right off the tongue. Comme je parle français, j'adore français, j'adore dire à mon ami et mon parent. And I don't know. I just feel like it's more smooth. Latvian has a huge traditional folk kind of scene. So when talking about some of the goddesses or something like Mara or Teketošana, that kind of stuff, those don't really have translations. You just know what they are. Mara is kind of it's just the name of one of the goddesses. Teketošana is kind of like trick-or-treating. That's the action of trick-or-treating, I suppose, but it doesn't necessarily mean trick-or-treating. It's more like going out to celebrate while in costumes. It's all that together, mashed into one word, kind of. I just think everyone should learn at least a second language, because language is the key to the world and key to communication, because the more you can talk to people, the more number of people you can talk to, the more ideas and the more stories you can get access to in a way. And it's just a beautiful thing when you can go anywhere else in the world that speaks that language, and then you can essentially just almost live there and just feel like you're a part of the culture, a part of the people, and it's one of the nicest feelings ever. Like you're not an outsider. I honestly don't know what I would do without these languages. They're just a huge part of me, And I would have so many less friends than I do now without them, because they've allowed me to make so many new connections and just speak to people who I never would have spoken to otherwise. It's just, it makes me sad almost to think what would happen if I didn't have these languages.